Хай, ребятишки. Всем привет. Hey everybody, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna speak English this time as well, as I always do. Right, so this is like the third part of our tutorials on how to program on Pascal. This time we're gonna solving another task, and the third step is to translate this from Russian into English. Let's do this. So the task 3. Let's create a file, like a Pascal file. Save it as a, let's say, freelance folder. Okay, great. Task3.pass. Task3.pass. And what we need here is to define a one-dimensional array. Why? Right? And then write elements from an array y that are even into array A, and right, let's place an ampersand. Let's place 2 ampersands here. Right into right, let's say write elements from an array y elements that are elements that are I've misunderstood something. We need to write not those elements that are even or odd. We need to write that elements that have even indexes, and those that have odd indexes into array B. Let's check things up. Declare a one-dimensional array Y. Write elements from an array Y into array A. Those elements from an array Y that have even indexes, and into array B those elements that have odd indexes, and then display those arrays on the screen, each on its particular line. Right, that shouldn't be much hard for us, but anyways, let's declare like var variable where we can also declare constants that will store our borders for the arrays, and first index is gonna be, or the first, well, that doesn't matter, we can just call it first instead of first index, because it's a small program. We don't really care about the names that exists in our particular file program. So the first is 0 and the last is 10. We suppose it's the indexes, first index and the last index. Let's compile. Right, we don't have the end and the begin brackets, so let's put here a begin and an end bracket. Place a dot here, and now we can press Ctrl plus F9. Ctrl plus F9, everything's fine, compiled well. So declare a one-dimensional array y. So let's say y array of first to last. Let's say just array from first to last of integer. Right, let's compile this. Ctrl F9, everything's fine. Except for the warning. I don't really care about the warnings here. Right. Let's say it's an array. And the task doesn't have like the definition of both A and B arrays. We don't really care when we declare them. Also, right, so the error or maybe misconception in the tasks or in the technical task is that they don't write the definition or declaration of those two arrays. They just say like put inside of those arrays, but they don't say like declare them first. So we do this ourselves. I mean, right, we declared the 3 arrays, right? Now they don't say it's an integer array as well, so we suppose it's an integer array. So write elements from an array y that have even indexes into array A. How we do this? Well, we do this probably using the for loop. So let's say it also needs to declare an integer y variable that we will be using in a loop. So loop variable I equals to first to last. Do begin end, or we can just place like no brackets, no begin end. Statements, and just say an array A if array y index, like this element. Let's just first put the round brackets first. Y mod 2. We need the even elements. So the this is the reminder after division. equals to 1 or not equals to 0, then an array A, the same index we use, equals this element equals to yi. Let's compile this and check if we done everything correct here. Control F9. What's wrong here is that we used equals instead of semicolon or colon equals. So this like this should work fine. Write elements from an array Y that have odd indices into array B. So we use the same indexes. That's probably gonna be I mod 2 because we need the even indexes here. Even indexes, not the elements but the indices. Right, so compiled probably well. Okay, though. And now we can use the same stuff but write it into an array B, replacing this by an equals sign, because here's the even elements and here's the odd elements. I mean, not elements, but the elements that have even indexes here and the elements that have odd indexes here, like index is the I. Let's compile this, Control F9 as always, as usual, and display those arrays on the screen, each on its particular line. So we say for, well, we probably can do this in one line with the within the assignments loop, and we can just like write do begin and just write here like those elements from an array A, and say like it's an array A, like the index, then a square bracket equals to A square brackets index I. And then we'll also need a separator like a white space. Well, let's try to display first the elements of an array A. Well, they're all zeros right now. And we can also display those elements from an array Y. As well. And here we can do the same trick. Placing the begin statement and replacing the array Y by array B. I mean the array A by array B, because we put those elements from an array Y into array A and an array B. So for this to work properly, we'll probably, and for the sake of like our visual comfort, we can place like a new line here, and every time an arrow is shown, we can place a new line. Well, its particular line. It means that we can do this like this. We should do this separately. Should do this separately, so probably need to separate those lines and write an array A on its particular line. Let's say from first to last do write an array A. This is the separator. And also place a separator here. And do the same trick. Do the same trick for this array B. Array B. And we don't need a separator here. Okay, I've done that. Can delete the condition. Well, let's, yeah, it's like here. And by the way, we don't need to show the Y array here. It's already shown. Control F9, F9. Yeah, each array on its particular line. You can also delete the separator here because we have it here. Control F9, F9. Yeah, so now we can like put here initialization for the elements inside of the array Y, so they are not gonna be zeros. So let's say from first to last do array Y index equals to Y and Control F9 and F9. And those indices that are like something's wrong here and the array B. The array B. The array B. Something is wrong here. Well, it's probably because we put the wrong values. Like we need to replace this array B by array Y. So we put the elements from array Y into array B. That's my mistake. Let's compile. Control F9 and F9. And so here it is the values. Here's the values. It's the values 6, 8, 9, and 10. Well, something like this. Should look like this. This should look like this. That's probably it. Enjoy and see you next time in the next video. Good luck.